probably watch videos of it too. If you find any good videos of it that you think are better explainers than others, send them to me. We'll have to check that out. I just love that it's sort of out of pocket and like so different, from the other stuff that they've done with Soulsborne games. I think that's really neat that they're trying something different. It's like when Kirby Air Ride came out. You guys remember Kirby Air Ride?
Mm-hmm. They're remaking it.
And they're making another, And it's like, what? A racing game with Kirby in it?
Yeah.
That rocks. Let's check it out. And then it was like actually pretty fun.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's
Kirby and Dark Souls, same thing.
Yeah, weird. Yeah.
Well, hello and welcome to Grass Touchers, the show where the three of us pals talk about some dang video games and how little time we have for them, but how much we like them anyway. I am Jake.
And I'm Jared.
I'm Greg.
By my count, this is episode 68. You know what that means?
Oh,
no. It means next time it's going to be the number. I'm stoked.
It's going to have to be the last episode. Straight up.
Yeah, we're going to have to stop right there. We did it. We made it all the way. Jared, what's going on with you, man? How's life treating you, and what video games have you been playing?
I was asked by a friend / quasi-family member. He married my sister-in-law's sister, a longtime friend of mine. He asked me if I wanted to play Battlefield 2042 the other day on Xbox because he has Game Pass all of a sudden, and he's kind of enjoying that, and it was freaking fun, dude. We had a blast.
Yeah,
I had a good time.
That's nice.
It's that game is just what it is. But we probably talked about it. It's pretty much just a buzzsaw. We were playing the small, like, no vehicles map where there's 64 on 64, and everybody's throwing grenades, and you're just battling over corridors, and it actually is pretty fun when you have friends. If you're doing that by yourself, then you might be a retard.
It's pretty bad by yourself.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's a good XP grind. If you set it up right and you use, like, especially the support classes, you can do a good XP grind on that one.
Yeah. A little bit of that. A lot of Dota. Been trying to play Dota. My wife had a friend in town last weekend, so I was in husband mode, just farting around, poking around, answering questions. People
smiling and waving,
interested in what I got going. Right. No, they are friends of mine as well. They're very sweet people. I wanted to be at home playing Dota for more time, but I still got some time in. That was a lot of fun. Lost a lot of matches, but my rank reset, and I recalibrated into a much higher rank than I was before.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm staying there.
Is that like a season, a changeover of seasons, or how did it get recalibrated?
No, it's a rank confidence
thing. Get banned or something?
It's if you don't play for a while, the game is kind of like, okay, we haven't seen you play. Like, we're not just going to throw you automatically back into your rank. So what they do is, like, you have to play a certain amount of matches, and they were putting me against the guys that I played against originally, and they were, just kind of like moving me a little bit within that space, and I was winning, so they were keeping me there. They do a good job. The rank system's pretty good in Dota, and I'm sure there's people that would disagree, but who cares?
What's that like?
Yeah. Yeah. Siege, they could teach Siege a few things, because that is a horrible ranking system. Just a horrible game all around, I think, right? I think we can all agree on that. Other than that, I've been sailing the high seas, watching lots of movies, and today, actually, of all days, I just woke up this morning and I thought, you know what? I'm tired of YouTube ads, so I did a little quick thing. It's like a patcher. You can patch over your YouTube app, and you can just basically get what is YouTube Premium for free, and I'm really enjoying that.
Oh,
it's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's freaking sick.
That rocks.
What about the skinny guy over here? What's he been up to? Cheekbone having showing dig.
Turns out you're supposed to have a jawline. Good. Thank you for that, Jared. That was sweet. But I have been playing, fortunately or unfortunately, I've been playing Siege, which has the highest highs and the lowest lows as normal.
It does.
And that's been very cool. I've been playing Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I'm about to be in the third act of the game. There's 3 acts and an epilogue. I'm about to be in the third act. I haven't played a ton in the last week because I've been out of town.
That's cool.
A little bit.
Is that still holding up? Is that still rocking?
It's amazing. It's incredible. Nice. It gets better. The combat, in fact, gets better and better and better. The further you get into the game, one of the abilities you get at the end of Act 2 is you get the ability to break the 9,999 damage cap. There's a boss you beat, and when you do that, you can break the damage cap, and it just all bets are off after that. It's pretty insane. So
that's cool.
So that's cool. I hopefully will play some PUBG tonight.
Crazy to me, but yes, it's happening.
It's wild. And then actually, this is random. On my phone for the trip this past week, I can't believe I didn't tell you guys this. I downloaded Stardew Valley, and played a little bit. It was fun. I'd never played Stardew Valley before. It was, basically Harvest Moon, right?
Yeah.
But it was very simple, very cool, very, LARPing my way around a farm.
Old Farmer Day.
Old Farmer Douglas. So that was pretty cool. And then looking forward to a few games, which we'll talk about here in a second when Jake does his. But how have you been, Jake?
Yeah, I've been good. Played a little Siege. I recently had a Steam Deck guilt moment. You guys ever buy? Jared wouldn't know anything about this. You ever get you buy a little hardware, right? And it's your favorite thing for like a week or two. And you're like, oh man, my life is forever changed. This is so convenient or portable or great or whatever. And then you skip a day or you skip a week and then you're like, it's collecting dust. Ugh, I hate myself. Why did I buy that? What's wrong with me? Well, I had a moment with my Steam Deck where I was like, I've got to show that thing some more love, And I just every time I open up my library of games that I already own that are great on deck, I don't have the will to download something. Well, I just went ahead and booted right on up old Mass Effect 3. If you remember, avid listeners of the Grass Touchers podcast will know that when I first got my Steam Deck, I put Mass Effect Trilogy on it, and it was really cool. Played right through the first one, almost right through the second one, started the third one and lost steam. But I just picked it back up because that game is easy to do that with. I've played it before, a number of times. So same character, same playthrough, just trying to pick that back up. And there's a bunch of DLC that is in the Ultimate Trilogy edition that I never played on the OG Xbox 360 Mass Effect 3 playthrough. And there's, Jared, I know that you have played. Have you played the collector's edition stuff, the DLC or whatever?
Of Mass Effect 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen everything that game has to offer.
Because I think I 100%ed the vanilla version of Mass Effect 3, but I didn't get DLC. And I went and did this thing. There's a whole area of the game on the Citadel called the Silver Sun Strip, where there's a casino, and there's this whole mission there, and you get an apartment that Anderson leaves you. Okay. Does this ring a bell at all?
Was there a
There's
teammate?
a battle simulator. Is there what?
Was there a teammate that came with it?
I don't think so, but I also haven't finished this sort of part of the DLC. I don't think. I think there's still more to do there. I might not
have seen that. I don't know. That doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, because it's blowing my mind, actually.
Okay.
I've never touched any of this. I was like, wait a minute, this is in here? So there's this, whole kind of very metropolitan, cyberpunk-looking part of the Citadel that's this, strip of urban area, bright lights, big city type stuff. There is a casino, there's an arcade, and in the arcade there are playable mini games that are Battleship and Space Invaders and, games that you can play inside the arcade. And you get this apartment that's on that strip. Anderson leaves it to you because he's still stuck on Earth and fighting the Reapers. And he's like, hey, I got an apartment on the Citadel that I'm not going to use anymore. You can have it. So you go there, and there's like a bunch of his stuff laying around, and you can inspect it. And there's little, story. You know how Mass Effect is with the little story drizzles, right? There's stuff everywhere. Right. So there's that, but there's a battle arena that's like a combat simulator from Armax Arsenal, and it's like the Armax Arena. And you go, and you can pick like your enemy type, the level of enemies, like foot soldiers, all the way up to like super elite, big hunkin' mechs or whatever. From how Cerberus has like the big mechs,
right?
And then you can pick allies, and after you do a couple, you earn rewards at the arena, which can be exchanged for money. You can just like generate money forever, and then you can add challenges like your shields deplete faster, or the enemy's firepower is stronger, or there's no ammo pickups in the arena, and like you can make it harder on yourself, and you try to get like a gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal thing. And there's a bit of story that happens there where there's like a terminal where fans send you like fan mail, and they're like, oh my god, Commander Shepard, you're so great, wow, I can't believe, will you please defeat the Reapers on the fiery map and do that for me and my friends? That would be so cool. And it's like really interesting, and I didn't think I would care about it, but here I am enjoying DLC from a decade ago. I don't know. Right. So it's been kind of cool, and you can throw a party for your crewmates at the apartment, and you like go to the bar and pick up a bunch of beer, and you get drunk with the homies at the apartment. Oh, wow. And you can invite or not invite whatever crew members you want to the party, and then there's like implications for romance accordingly. And anyway, I'm enjoying Mass Effect 3 because I had never touched any of that stuff. So that's kind of cool.
That's awesome. I don't remember that. I don't think I ever
But
did
yeah,
that.
Siege, hey man, if you've got it out there in the audience, the Mass Effect Trilogy Remaster Collector's Edition or whatever, check it out. It's kind of cool. I think you got to get kind of, 2/3 of the way through the game, but... and then, we played Siege last night. It was cool, I guess. We won one, we lost one. It was a good time. And we had idiot teammates that played way too aggro. We were on Chalet, and we could have won, but our teammates were dumb.
What?
I don't think so.
On Siege?
It was fun. I know. Surprising. Shocker. Color me shocked.
Dude, I've gotten to the point with that game where when... I'm not meaning to compliment myself at all, because I'm legitimately still bad at that game after 470 hours.
Yeah, right.
But I'm at the point where we play with so many brain dead teammates in ranked that I was like, man, I'm playing so terrible. And I look at the leaderboard, and I've got like 7 or 8 kills and 3 or 4 deaths.
You and I both had like 8 or more kills in that game. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, man, these people must be losers. Like,
yeah,
like I'm a band director and I play twice a week, and I'm
the only thing worse
guys.
The only thing worse than being embarrassingly good at Siege is being embarrassingly horrible at Siege. You know what I mean? Like, at least I can respect the no-lifers a tiny bit, and I just go, all right, I lose that gunfight every time. But there's guys that get on, and it's like, do you not know how to win at video games? Like, you don't have to take every fight. Like, I don't know, it's really stupid, but
yeah, man,
it's what I get for expecting people to keep the objective in mind. So anyway, speaking of that, June 10th, Siege X. It's not going to be my first priority, but I am going to check it out. I think we owe it, to Siege. We already own the game. Might as well check out the updates when that comes. There's a big Clash rework that I know Jared's looking forward to. It looks broken and very cool.
Broken and very cool. Jared's not going to take advantage of that at all.
No, no.
It's going to be so cool.
Yeah, I'm going to drop that character.
I saw videos of people running out at the very beginning of the match with Clash, propping her shield up because she can see through it and she can just set it there. And it slows down. It doesn't damage people anymore, but it slows people down. And they just camp spawn, and they quick peek around the shield and kill the whole team before the game even starts.
Great.
It's like...
Great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be on the receiving end of that. I mean, I play Clash because
that's
I'm like,
the thing.
Nobody plays this character usually, and they're annoying, and I can contribute without having to have a dead eye. And now it's just going to be awful. So that's great.
Only time will tell.
Dude.
Only time will tell. So that's June 10th. But a lot of things are happening on June 10th, not the least of which is Dune Awakening, or as we say around these parts, Dag Awakening. I watched today the final developer live stream where they went over the sort of like mid to late game gameplay. They showed, you guys, a squadron of ornithopters of varying sizes and specialties, picking up a sand crawler, going out into the deep desert, a giant spice blow coming up out of the ground, and then like getting this like ornithopter that was carrying the sand crawler to like plop down and get the sand thing going, and then there's a guy on a sand bike doing like big loops around the spice blow and planting thumpers to distract the sandworms so that they could keep harvesting spice. And then eventually they saw signs of a grandfather worm that was really, really big coming. And so they pop smoke and try to go get the sand crawler. They pull it out, and then the biggest worm swallows up the whole thing. And it was so sick. I am convinced that the late game has some legs, I think. Not that I'm like the biggest MMO head ever. I'm really not. I doubt I'll even. In order to pull that off, you got to really be like in a guild, and it's like that's like a raid in WoW, right? Like, that's like a whole thing you got to undertake with a group. But for that to even be attainable, it's like, all right, this is going to have legs. At least it'll be that thing where like the hardcore people, they go the distance and they do all that. So they run so I can walk, right? Like I'm going to go do my thing, and the game will stay alive, and I'm going to enjoy like the story and like the other stuff. But it looked very cool. They have some big things in store for the late game of Dune Awakening. I know. I hope it goes well. And then also on June 10th, I don't know what it is about June 10th, but the stars have aligned, and there's another game called MindsEye. You don't have to check it out right now, but I have a link at the notes there. It looks like a very interesting take on the open world GTA Watch Dogs, like something or other, kind of like urban open world game. And it's got like a sci-fi flair to it. In the not so distant future, there's these AI robots that are all part of an interconnected network, and then something goes wrong. We've seen this before. But the gameplay has an interesting mix of like they show a cutscene after some sort of battle. There's like a guy bleeding out or can't breathe or something on the ground, and you, the character, go up to him on the asphalt, and a mini game starts where you're doing chest compressions on this guy. Whoa. And it's a rhythm game. Like, whoa, that's not a shooter. What's going on? And then they showed some other things like that where there's a break in the action, and you have to engage with like story content in like a different way, and you have to actively participate without just like shooting bad guys. There's drones, a lot of cars, a lot of explosions.
Sounds like Louisiana Mardi Gras
something
a couple years ago. Am I right? That guy driving that truck through that crowd of people. Hello. They made a video game after that. Are you kidding me, dude?
Wow, incredible. And it's very that sort of populist take about like big tech and
right.
turning the frogs gay and like all that
Alex
kind of
Jones
stuff. It's got
game.
a lot of that. It's got a lot of Alex Jones energy. This game, I think.
Wow, that's
because of the like technocracy sort of vibes that it has. But
wow, dude,
looks interesting.
Looks
so
cool.
June 10th, if you boys had to, I almost want to do like marry kill with these three games, right? But I'm not gonna say that. I might even just edit that out. Siege X, Dune Awakening, MindsEye, June 10th. What's your power ranking here? What are we looking forward to between those three? I know you just probably found out about MindsEye today, but what do you think?
dude? That is an ugly broad, and then one woman with a bag over her head, and then another woman with a bag over her entire body. I don't even know what to choose there. I don't know. The one with the bag over her whole body, you could take the bag off, maybe a penis under there. You know what I mean? Then we're really in trouble. So
that one's
trying to
that
decide
one's mine.
which one of these.
That's MindsEye, right?
yeah, I don't know anything about
okay,
it.
I just wanted
It could end up being a total dog, and I could just, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's a tough question. At least I know what I'm getting with Siege, and it's an ugly dog.
Yes. It's the devil you know.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, I don't know.
I think probably Siege X intrigues me. We're gonna play it. MindsEye looks cool. I just watched a little bit of the trailer just now. Looks cool. Here's what I'll say about Dune Awakening. I was really big into World of Warcraft, and that game, there was no version, in my opinion, there was no version of that game where you could be competitive, and by competitive I mean get good gear or be good at PvP or anything without Like, there's no version of World of Warcraft where you log on for only an hour. At least that was my experience. Right? You every time you log on, minimum 2 to 3 hours to get anything done. Yeah, like just the game boots in an hour, right? And so, you know, and I loved the end game and WoW. I loved raiding when I was in high school and early college, and I had the time to do it. Tyler was way more into that than, Tyler was much more competitive about raiding than I was, so he was in a better guild than I was a lot of time. Where he was actually, we were in the same guild a lot, but Tyler was on what they called the main roster, the primary roster. They were the guys that did
Shout out Tyler.
Yeah, he did
starting quarterback.
He wasn't starting. He was our main tank of our guild always, and so
wow.
So, but the problem, the reason I bring that up is that. In MMOs, inevitably, the best content is for the hardcore players. That's how MMOs kind of function. And so my only concern about Dune Awakening is that, one, I won't have enough time for it to be enjoyable, or two, that we will basically be playing the, watered down version of the game because we don't have the time to dedicate to the hardcore rating or the hardcore content. And that's a losing scenario also. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that it's super fun for even a casual player. But my history with MMOs would indicate otherwise. That's like every MMO I've ever played is like that, right? Like the best content, some would even say the only good content in some MMOs is the rating, is the end game stuff.
Right.
Right. So,
well, I've been lapping up all the developer live streams and Q&As and like updates and stuff about this game. They've already spun up some of the feedback that they generated in the beta. They have integrated into the game, and they showed some of those brand new changes in the live stream most recently. Even in the deep desert of Arrakis, which is where you mine spice, there is PvE content. There are ways to get spice that do not involve going on a giant raid in a PvP zone with your homies. So I've been relatively comforted so far by all the info that's come out. There's hundreds, they say, well over 100 hours of content without touching a dangerous PvP zone. And there's lots of activities in the game to do. I was shocked at the legs that the beta had, and I put in a fair number of hours that weekend that it was out. So anyway, I totally agree that there's no version of my life that involves a MMO being like a large part of my, man hours. So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. And it's a live game. Like, it'll change over time. We'll see if they end up catering to that hardcore crowd or if there's, more stuff to engage with even as a casual over time. I think it's going to be, worth it's $50. There's games coming out very soon that are $70 or $80. So I'm stoked about at least, if nothing else, the price of admission being actually reasonable. So we got that going for us.
It's true.
Well, to wrap up, we've got a couple of hits here. I just want to plug, it's very much in the discourse right now. Andor Season 2, extremely good. If I had to pick something to recommend to someone out of all the sort of Star Wars like stuff that has come out over the past, I'll say 5 years. You got The Mandalorian, you got the Boba Fett stuff, the Obi-Wan show, you got all these different things that have come out, right? Ahsoka, right? There's all these different things. I think Andor is a wonderful representation of what you can do in Star Wars that doesn't suck, even though there's no lightsabers. That's what's been cool for me. The way that they have fleshed out the Empire and gotten some incredible talent. The actors in that show are just really insane. What's his name from who plays Baron Harkonnen? Skarsgård? Is it
Stellan Skarsgård? Yeah.
Stellan's the one. That guy rocks, I've been so Dune pilled that I see that guy and I just get a tingle in my taint, but
you just think
there's
big dude Nevada hot chocolate. Like,
this is not episode 69.
Don't worry about it, Jared.
Save that for next week.
I should have saved it for next week. But yeah, Andor Season 2, already asked Greg. He said he hadn't watched it. Jared, I'm fairly confident you haven't watched it, but it's very good.
Well, Jared's a big Star Wars fan, so I'm really
a
shocked.
huge Star Wars
That's
guy,
right.
so like it's just a matter of time before I watch
Famously.
Yeah.
Famously.
Yeah, man, I really hate Star Wars these days, and it's not even because it's bad. It's just because there's so much of it. I just want it to go away for a little bit. Go away for just like 10 years. Then you can come back with your lightsabers and your origin stories and your offshoots of characters that died in the first 5 minutes of one of the movies from 20 years ago. We're gonna get a freaking Greedo movie one of these days, and it's like, an entire movie on Greedo, and it's gonna end with
be Greedo subtitle should have shot first. You know, like
yeah, exactly. And it's gonna make him a sympathetic character is what they're gonna do.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, they probably will. I agree. Star Wars is sort of off the rails right now, but just wanted to plug that season 2 was pretty cool.
They're gonna make him a sympathetic character, and then they're gonna cancel Han Solo. They're gonna go back and be like, you know what?
Can you imagine?
Actually, this guy was the bad guy the whole time.
Yeah, they're gonna make a movie about like episode 10, and they're gonna like in universe they're gonna like cancel Han Solo because he like groped a waitress one time on Tatooine.
They're gonna retcon him in as like a sex pest. He's just like Greedo's wife is like getting texts from Han Solo like suggestive things.
Greedo's wife.
Yeah. That's what's gonna happen, dude. I hate this.
What's up, you green?
Yeah.
Show me what that thing do.
Yeah. I promise you, he will shoot first in that scenario. That's good, man.
Hey. Don't worry, sweetie. I don't know if you remember, but I always shoot.
Yeah.
Unrelated to any of that, Wes Andersen movie, The Phoenician Scheme. I don't know about you guys. I'm a bit of a fan, not like rabid fan, but I do love a good Wes Andersen flick. And The Phoenician Scheme is coming out in the next couple of days. By the time you're listening to this podcast, it's probably already out. So that's kind of cool. My wife and I are probably going to go see that. And what's this about Elden Ring Nightreign, Deggery?
So Elden Ring Nightreign is a roguelike Elden Ring game that basically it's kind of like Fortnite or PUBG, where you are on the starting area from Elden Ring is called Limgrave. That's the part of the map. So what it is it's a separated or self-contained variant of Limgrave, the starting area from Elden Ring, that has roguelike elements, so different bosses, different enemies. It's totally different experience every time you play. So you drop in just like in PUBG or Fortnite, and the map shrinks over time. Dude, it's wacky, and you can pick one of like 8 or 9, 10 classes, something like that. And I don't think you have them all unlocked at the beginning, but you basically pick a different class. You pick a class that has kind of different skills and abilities and specializes in certain weapons. And the bosses are all random bosses from all of FromSoft games. So like Dark Souls all the way through Elden Ring, including Sekiro bosses and stuff.
Armored Core.
There's no Armored Core, but yeah.
Missed opportunity.
Soulsborne FromSoft games. And like Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 and stuff.
DuckTales 3.
And DuckTales 3.
Oh my god.
You jump around on a pogo stick. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But it's wacky that they even did this. It's kind of it's been very divisive. I've watched a few reviews because it comes out like tomorrow or in the next couple of days. I don't know yet whether I'm going to buy it. My favorite Elden Ring / Souls content creator, Fighting Cowboy, he did a review of it, and he like loves all the Souls games. And he did a review, and he was like, I don't know. Like, he's basically done everything you can do in the game, and he is like...
Right.
The review he gave it basically is like, it's not fun unless you are playing it with friends. It has a single-player mode. And so, in so many ways, it's the opposite of everything Elden Ring is. Like, there's no fall damage, and you can climb cliff faces, and like all sorts of mechanics that don't exist in Elden Ring are in this game. And it's got a day and night cycle, so a typical match lasts 45 minutes, between 40 and 45 minutes, and it's like day 1, day 2, right? And then the third day you fight the boss. Is the way it's done. And
interesting.
The circle shrinks over time, and you get upgrades and stuff, and you have mini bosses that drop weapons and armor and new skills and all that stuff. I think it looks really cool. I'm gonna watch more reviews before I make a decision.
Yeah.
But it's Elden Ring, so I probably won't be able to help myself.
Right.
you know,
Well, much to your chagrin, obviously, I did not venture very far into my Elden Ring time. I suppose it's probably relegated to the broken legs list at this point. I wish that weren't the case, because I know so many people. One of my buddies at work is a Elden Ring Soulsborne like dude. I told him that you 100%ed it, and he was like, "What?" He just like couldn't believe it. He was like vicariously sort of through you, like, "Oh my god, that's so cool." But there's a pretty slim chance it would be like probably a new group game for us anytime soon. I only say that because of what we just talked about. We've got sort of a full plate of like goodies coming our way, but I think I will probably watch videos of it too. If you find any good videos of it that you think are better explainers than others, send them to me. We'll have to check that out. I just love that it's sort of out of pocket and like so different, from the other stuff that they've done with Soulsborne games. I think that's really neat that they're trying something different. It's like when Kirby Air Ride came out. You guys remember Kirby Air Ride?
Mm-hmm. They're remaking it.
I was like, and they're making another, yeah. And it's like, what? A racing game with Kirby in it?
Yeah.
That rocks. Let's check it out. And then it was like actually pretty fun.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's
Kirby and Dark Souls, same thing.
Yeah, weird.
yeah.
Weird
The one thing about it that is different is it's not PvP at all. It's completely PvE.
Right.
So it's not like PUBG or Fortnite in that you are inside a circle with other people. You have your teammates and you're fighting bosses and randomly generated enemies and stuff. So I think more people would, like I said, it's very divisive. We'll see. I think more people would probably be behind it if it were more like PvP or if it were more like traditional Elden Ring with less of the roguelike elements. I think because it's trying to do a lot of things, it's going to be a very divisive game. Sure.
Right. Well, we will see, my man. I can't wait to check out some videos of it. I know I saw about the announcement when it first happened, but I haven't been tracking. So I'll do a little research. Well, folks, how about that? These tight, hot heat 30-minute episodes. Come on. This is good stuff, right? Hey, let us know what you think. I want you to hit us in the DMs, subscribe, like, follow, share, YouTube, Instagram, @3GrassTouchers. We'd love for you to check us out there. Let us know what you think of any of these games. MindsEye, are you tracking this at all? Dune Awakening, you going to join my guild, bro? Siege X, you going to get good? Whoa. Probably not, because guess what? There's always a bigger fish, in the words of the wise prophet Qui-Gon Jinn, so you better watch your butt. And until next time, hey, don't miss next week. You know what next week is. That's right. You know.
Yeah.
But between now and then, please, do us a favor. Get out there and touch some grass.